Just going to have a quick look at the Lautie Chezz piece, the Knight. There's others, and you'll see those. There's some reviews around about them, and I do have another couple that I will review shortly. But I had some trouble with the Knight when it arrived because it kind of felt stuck on the threads, and felt like it was going to cross thread. Actually, this little copper ring here felt like it might cross thread as I was disassembling it, and it disassembled in a different way to the normal or the other Lautie chess pieces. So I took care. I just thought it might be useful to show you how this thing goes together and comes apart, which I will do just very quickly. Amazing piece of kit, this, by the way. Just, you know, incredible construction, quality, attention to detail, and the bearing in it is just super crazy good. So when you get your Knight, bearing in mind actually that there's only 99 of these things in the world, that's what it's going to arrive like. Stunning. Now there's a couple of bits and pieces you're going to get in the box, different to others. You're going to get a spare bearing. You're going to get your stickers and, you know, the Lautie hammer, etc. I don't know what this, but you also get this, which I noticed different to the other pieces. Now I spotted those on the actual unit itself. This, it's a bit more complicated than the other ones are just standard one piece, but you can see there that there's 2 pins, which I assume are these 2 spares. Now I just pushed them out. These 2 pins here, they're almost just friction held, so I just pushed them out with a screwdriver. They came out quite easily, but that I assume pulls the head of the Knight off, and as you can see there's a Torx screw. And that Torx screw, I think, holds the Knight's main on. So you've got a main, and then these 2 pins, I assume you pull the screw out and the main comes off. I haven't done it yet, but push the pins out and his head comes off. But what I tried to do initially was similar to the pawns, other chess pieces. I tried to actually unscrew the head, just straight in, unscrew the head, and then the bearing pops out. Now that was where I got into trouble, because it felt like this copper ring was going to cross thread because it's a fairly soft metal. So what I did instead was actually took off, you know, it took a bit. It's like removing the case back on a watch that screws off. You kind of got to get something rubbery or grippy on here. Some people use a stress ball. So I unscrewed the bearing, or I guess the spinner bearing keeper, I guess you'd say. Oops, right. I undid that first, then was able to pop this piece off, and then I could unscrew the copper retaining. I'm not really sure what function this serves, I guess to separate it from the spinner part. Then that came off fairly easy with no risk of cross threading, and then obviously you can pull the rest of it apart.